Alrighty, what's up everybody? It's BallietBran. We got another lovely live stream today for y'all. Today we're going to be talking about Hex, going to be talking about Pulse. There's a lot of information that was announced by Richard on one of the most recent live streams that he did and that the ladies of Hex did on Discord Syndicate. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting updates. And we do have a little bit more clarification with PulseChain. A lot of people have wondered, when is the sacrifice lobby going to start? Richard has mentioned it could be as soon as 7 to 14 days, 1 week to 2 week, or it could be longer. We still don't know. But yeah, the market itself is doing really good. Hex is pumping. It's pumped significantly since the last live stream. And same thing with Bitcoin and Ethereum. We can look at a little bit of that too. So before I do play the intro real quick, just shout out to all the Hex streamers. I know right now, Look Into Crypto and Gerardo, they're live streaming, kind of going over some TA and some analytical stuff as well. So I didn't get to catch all of that, but I will watch it on the rerun. So without further ado, give me 90 seconds and I'll see everyone soon.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, be sure to share, be sure to comment. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Say hey. Motherfucking jackpot. We still jackpot, bitch!
Thank you, Richard, for creating and founding the most amazing and disruptive financial technology cryptocurrency ever. Thank you, sir. And nice streams, Mr. BallietBran.
All right, so what's up everybody? Thank you for joining me today. There's a lot of information to cover, so we're just going to get right into it. I do want to say hi to the chat real quick. We got Nozdarav, Pavalaba, Bitfinesse, Identity Block, Piston Broke, Quattrocinco. Let's see, Northernmost Hexer, Thin Bear. We got people all around the world watching right now. Benny Bilzerian, Luis Hex. Okay, so let's get into it. There's a lot of information to cover, and I only have so much time today because I'll be going to dinner in the evening. So we'll do a hard cutoff around 90 minutes. And I'll try to cover as much information from there. Without further ado, let's just, since this is a Hex stream, since it's a crypto stream, and it's a Pulse stream, let's take a look at the price chart. All right, so let me share the screen real quick. We're going to go to uniswap.hex.vision and share the screen now. Let's just make sure everyone can see it fine. Okay, so the last stream we were at about a penny and a half. So you can see it's exactly around 168 hours or 7 days. And so a week ago, we were at about a penny and a half, roughly 1.5 pennies. And I mean, right now we're at 2 pennies, but from like just a kind of random, like low to high, we've been up about 45.3%. So it's really impressive. I think a lot of the Hexicans and just people in general, they're looking at Pulse and they're looking at just some of the free coins that are going to be given out, some of the strategy that kind of goes into pumping your bags. And I think a lot of people, what they're going to be doing, Motley's kind of alluded to this before, but if you're going to participate in the Pulse chain, you might want to, like, if you have liquid coins, you would change it for Hex, and then you would sacrifice that in the lobby. And so the PulseChain news is very exciting. like I mentioned, Richard had a 6-hour long live stream. And let me actually show you guys something real quick. For those of you that don't have all the time in the world to watch a 6-hour live stream, and you can't filter through all of the non-crypto related information, let me just share my screen real quick. So like about 2 hours before the stream started, I was kind of working on just screen recording and clipping some of the information that Richard had kind of covered. So let's go to, if you go to just youtube.com/BallietBran, this is obviously the channel that I'm streaming on. But let's see. So these 5 videos right here made within the past like hour and a half, 2 hours. But so we have PulseChain will have the largest airdrop in history. So Richard's mentioned about 99.9% of the ERC20 token users and smart contracts and stuff like that are going to be ported over and pretty much copied over to the PulseChain. We've got PulseChain will do proof of stake better. It'll do proof of stake better, and it'll do it before Ethereum 2.0 comes out, which is interesting, right? I know Richard talks about a lot of predictions in crypto or software related that they're really hard to predict, right? The smallest little bug or the smallest little tweak can take such a long time to do. But I want to say that it's really exciting that someone like Richard and some of the even other smart chains had kind of taken the initiative as opposed to waiting for Vitalik and the crew. Yep. Hextoshi, hey, good to see you. Says brand pump incoming. Hey, I'm down. It's a cool asset to be a part of, right? Especially for anyone that's been a part of bear markets and dumps. When you have something that is not correlated from the normal crypto market and the normal crypto bear market, it's something that can really shine in the darkness, right? And in the slaughter and rug pull of those things. All right, so let's go back to the screen real quick here. Okay, so also let me look at this. Okay, this is interesting for all you Matic users out there. I've never used it myself, just because I've always been content with Hex, even with the higher gas fees. Whatever, my stakes are already pretty much set. But let me read this one because it's just kind of interesting for those that aren't aware of counterparty risk. Let's see here, and admin keys, right? So PulseChain will have liquidity bridges with no in caps right here, no counterparty risk, unlike things like Matic that could rug, right? That could rug pull. And obviously it's kind of, there's a certain chance something could happen, but if you have things like rug pulls that have happened in the market, who's to say they couldn't happen again? And the only thing I wanted to say is if you're a Hexican going over there, just know that there is more counterparty risk with things like admin keys and things like that. So I think Richard had mentioned that they have like $1.5 billion or like $3 billion of value over there. So the bigger they get, obviously the more users they're going to have, but just something to be aware of. I know when Richard had mentioned that he wants to do things better than what's out there already, I thought that was really cool that he's going to set up a more honest system, it seems. So we have another one. How would stable coins work on PulseChain? And then the other one is, will PulseChain give lots of free pulse to the Ethereum Whales? And so, yeah, that's kind of the videos that I made within the past hour and a half. When it comes to freemium that Richard has mentioned, even a 10,000 to 1 ratio, we're kind of like a dilution for the freemium of the Ethereum holders would still be just enough for them to run their transactions. Even from what I've heard with the people that have used Matic, they had enough, they had enough freemium that they were able to do their transactions. So that's great. PulseChain is definitely going to be the largest airdrop in history, and it's going to be very exciting, right? Anything that Richard Hart does is something I wouldn't bet against. Let's go to the chat real quick, and then we'll look at some of the other things. Hextoshi, just feels gross not staking my Hex. Yeah, I know what you mean. Let's go back to me. There's a couple people that were asking me, and they were like, hey, what should I do? Like, should I stake my Hex and get that copy on the PulseChain, which is already a guarantee that that's going to happen? Or should I take a portion of my liquid hex right now, and when the sacrifice lobby or sacrifice chamber opens, should I use that liquid hex for, possibly a different opportunity of a pulse, right? So there's lots of things to consider, and everyone's going to kind of have a different game theory, right? A lot of us already do have significant portions staked and things like that. So either way, you're going to get an airdrop if you're a hex holder. Let's see. Piston Broke. Quattrocinco says, great job, Bran. Looks like you put in a lot of effort. Yeah, it definitely is a lot of effort, right? Crypto in 2017 was always like, I don't watch TV or movies, things like that, but crypto was like, all right, this is addicting, And so anyways, yeah, it's kind of like a second full-time job, just keeping up with all of the stuff just in Hex, not just crypto, but in Hex. So shout out to the other people that can, like Dollar Cost, that can kind of keep up with, a lot of the other altcoins too. So that's definitely no easy thing to do. And anyone that spends all that time and, creates the content and whatnot, similar to looking into crypto and Gerardo right now, like those people should be commended. And I think it's really cool, all of the information that we have going on. I don't know what the other stream is, Timothy, but I know Gerardo and Look Into Crypto. I know they're streaming on Gerardo's channel right now. Don't know which the other one is, but the more the merrier, right? And the thing about this is, I remember when it first happened in the Hex community, there was kind of some squabble of like, hey, don't stream over me type deal and stuff like this. And the way that I've always considered it is the more the merrier, right? And if someone can't catch something live, which most people can't, right? Most people can't just accommodate their schedules and the flip of a switch to watch something live. So the people that didn't get to watch theirs, they can watch it after this one, and vice versa. But so yeah, that's awesome to hear. It's really cool when you look at Hex and when you look at other crypto communities, that Hex has had a huge base that people used to call bots. And then I think that pissed off a lot of Hexicans, including myself, right? To know that those kind of ad hominem attacks were coming out. And so then a lot of people just started proving the FUD wrong. And I think that's very commendable. Because a lot of the people that do make content in crypto in general, this is why Richard Hart gets hated on so much, because he does have FU money and he's not shilling trading links and stuff like this. But a lot of the people that you do see in crypto, just in general, they usually want to profit off of the users, not the users, but like of the viewers of their video, right? So whether it's like selling NFTs or referral links and trading links that are going to get people wrecked. That's the stuff that Richard has called out very significantly and very loudly. And I think it's very commendable, because most people think just because you heard one person do it, of say like $100 to 10,000 or 100,000, everyone thinks that they can be that next person. And in reality, there's like the pre-show principle of like 80-20. But when it comes to traders, like Richard has kind of mentioned, that like 99.5 or 0.9% of people, get their asses handed to them, and like the very small few, do a little bit better. But at the end of the day, if you can have assets like Hex that pay you to lock up the crypto, similar to a CD, except a crypto version and just different parameters, then why the heck wouldn't you? Why would you want to be staring at screens all day and trying to revenge trade if you could be making 40% APY, for example? Let me go back to the comments real quick here. So yeah, Timothy addressed his. Luis Hex, he's also part of the Hexican.Vegas crew. So for anyone, yeah, there's going to be a lot of kind of like ranting and a lot of like topics that I cover in this 90 minutes, because I am kind of held down to a tight time frame. But when it comes to Hex.Vegas, Hexican.Vegas, I mean, people should have already registered for their tickets. It's going to include, what's it going to include? It's going to include a badge, a T-shirt, and some other things, right? Some discount codes for some of the events and some things like that. So if you didn't sign up and you're still going, I would message Maddie Allen ASAP and see if there's any way you can still get some of that stuff. Oh, okay. Timothy says DJ Cryptomatic. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I mean, I was watching the Look Into Crypto and Gerardo stream before this, but yeah, DJ Cryptomatic. He's got some serious skills. So if you're not following him already, just type in on Twitch. He only streams on Twitch, so for anyone watching, they should notice that. But yeah, type in DJ Cryptomatic, and the cool thing about a DJ, like Richard mentions, is it's curating, right? It's finding the best of all the genres or the best of everything and kind of playing it into different loops. So shout out to him. And he's got these, as far as like the vinyl and the turntable thing, he's got like at least 1 or 2 Hex logos on the turntable. So that's really cool. Jeremy Rush says, hi, buddy. Just bought $100 in Hex today. Don't know anything about it. Would love to know what videos to watch to get up to speed. So you can go to YouTube and type in Hex clips. Or you can go to my channel and look for some of the clips. Like I don't really have separate channels that are just dedicated to that. This channel is kind of like a all-in-one. But let's see. I would go to Hex.com first off, right? Go to the main website. So Hex.com has been updated and improved from just the text that was on there. And so other people have liked the new introduction of the website. So check it out. I mean, there's a lot of information that you can learn on Hex by just watching Richard Hart's videos. Go to his channel, obviously, Richard Hart on YouTube, and kind of just go back to maybe like December 2019. There's a lot of people in the community. If you go to, I would kind of be wary of this one just because a lot of people kind of they can kind of prey on the weak, but there is a Telegram. And if you go into the Telegram, my recommendation would be if you're new, stick to the main channel and change the privacy settings. Don't let people just DM you, stuff like this, because crypto is rife with people trying to scam you, trying to take your private keys from you, trying to, referrals and stuff like that. So just be careful, and welcome, Jeremy. It's awesome, right? Where else can you get this kind of interest right now? 40% average. I think it's like 40% APY on average, and then it's like 5.5 something years is the like the weighted average for the locked Hex, and it's over like $1 billion locked. And just the system itself is a smart contract built on top of Ethereum right now. But yeah, it's a really good product, and welcome. Danny says, good to see you. Let's see. Hextoshi, congrats. Yep, good vibes. Okay. Yeah, we got Maddie in the chat. Let me just say hi to a couple other people real quick. Marcavelli 23, nice to see you. Okay. Okay, yeah, no worries, Danny. Let's see here. Hextoshi. So yeah, shout out to Jeremy Rush once again for getting into Hex. Right, that's it's very exciting, and tell you what, you can. There's a lot of gains that people have made by just being in crypto and holding. Right. So Jeremy Rush, go here to BallietBran's channel, go to videos, look at the subjects that interest you. All great info. Yeah, I mean, there's Crypto Coffee, there's Hexologist, there's Big Pep, there's Discourse Syndicate. There's so many damn people. There's Hex Asians. Like I mentioned right now, Gerardo and Look Into Crypto, they're streaming. We got DJs. We got it all. Okay, let's see. Let me just go to YouTube channel. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Maddie says, sup, order now, and you can still get a high-quality sheet. Yes. Okay, so yeah, the link for that is hexmeetup.eventbrite.com. And yeah, we can go into that real quick here in just a second. Let's see. Okay, so Danny Boy says Hex Canada Meetup, Whistler, British Columbia, December 21st, 2021, it looks like. Oh yeah, this is the other thing that's really cool, right? So there's a lot of people that maybe you're in a different country that's got some restrictions and stuff like this as far as travel goes, and say you can't attend this year of the Hexican.Vegas meetup, but you still want to be a part of that history, right? And you wish you could be there, but like I said, you can't. Maddie says you can order now for just a shirt, even if you can't attend. So I think that's really cool. Shout out to him for the option of allowing people to do that. Okay, what else we got? Plunder 23, nice to see you. Let me turn off my my notifications on my phone here. Maddie Allen is everywhere at the same time. Yep. We're on a lot of streams. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Jeremy Rush says, thanks. I will look up Richard. Is there a link to his channel? Been in crypto space 6 years now. Damn, dude. That's awesome that you've been in for such a long time. And yeah, shout out to you. Yeah, you kind of know I am preaching to the choir if you've been in for 6 years. So it's good that you take security seriously, because I know people that I've even donated crypto to. They have no other crypto, right? But somehow other people found out about that, and they're emailing them, trying to extract their private keys from them or their seed phrase. So luckily, I held on to that, and they didn't get phished. But yeah, the space is, when you have such an opportunistic space, you're gonna have people of all sorts. So it's definitely important to take the security seriously. And yeah, I tell you what, Richard, his channel, you can learn a lot of information. He covers a lot of topics, and definitely goes on a lot of monologues and rants sometimes. But the information he covers is very valuable, and a lot of us that have been following him, we can tell that he's one of the good guys in crypto, and he's really speaking truth to power and kind of trying to save people from getting wrecked and from trading and gambling and stuff like this that can degenerate people's lives and relationships. Identity Block says, welcome to all the new Hexicans. Yeah, I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, people say they're in it for the technology, and that's cool too. But a lot of people are in it for the gains, right? A lot of people, they heard about Bitcoin in 2011 when it was $1, $2, things like that, and they're pissed off at themselves that they didn't get involved, or that they did just listen to their friend and they thought it was, tulips, or they thought it was Beanie Babies, or, that kind of stuff. And anyways, yeah, it's cool to see people that had that opportunity that missed out. They're not making the same mistake twice. And especially when you have helicopter money and hyperinflation out the damn yin yang, things like crypto and things like Hex that are locked and that are decentralized, they can be a significant hedge against that hyperinflation. Because at the end of the day, also the hyperinflation, even though the stimulus and whatnot has kind of been given out in physical forms to the people, it's something that consumers always get screwed over by inflation, and someone's got to pay it, right? And so you see the price of food, candy bars, cars, stuff like that go up, and inflation, yeah, is not something that you want to keep your value in, right? And keep just getting devalued. So what else? Oh yeah, okay, let's see. Hexoshi says, Jeremy Rush, when did you first hear about Hex? Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, exactly. Like I mentioned, people like the up and to the right? And especially when you hear criticism as well. For me, I've always wanted to validate whether that stuff is true or not. And that's kind of how I found about Richard in 2017 as well, right? I heard a whole bunch of people in crypto, talking bad and talking down about Richard. And then I went to go verify it. And then I was like, man, this is what I've been looking for the whole time, right? So that's really cool. Oh, okay. Yeah. He did a search on YouTube and Telegram. Awesome. Well, yeah, welcome to the community. Let's see. Corey says, hey, Brian, what's going on? What are we talking about today? And of course, what's up, Hexicans? Yeah, Corey. So there's a lot of information to talk about, right? So there's some of the information on Pulse that obviously everyone's excited about, myself included. And, Richard had a 6-hour live stream with the ladies of Hex. And so I clipped out a few of the snippets that I was able to before the stream started. And yeah, for people that are kind of just getting into it, or when they want to hear more about Hex and more about the fork of Ethereum, that stream was really good. But there's certain bits and pieces that are more in depth than others. So yeah, just kind of just saying hi to the chat right now. But there's some other stuff we'll cover too. Diraj Moore says, good morning from the Philippines. And I know he was on the Hex Asians today too. So like I said, we got Hexicans worldwide. That's awesome. Okay. All right. Let's cover something else real quick too. So it's not something I normally do, but because like the rising tide raises all ships and whatnot, and most people aren't just in one crypto, I think it'd be kind of cool just to look at the Bitcoin and Ethereum price real quick here. Okay. All right. So here's TradingView. And we'll do this for just a few minutes, but just to you know, have a look. Okay. Well, so yeah, I mean, you can see Bitcoin $56,994. And honestly, like when you just look at this chart on a monthly, this is just Bitstamp. This is what Richard recommends because as far as like charting and even buying goes, because you're not being shilled leverage trading and a whole bunch of alts per se compared to some of the other things, right? But yeah, so that's how Bitcoin's doing just on a monthly. See, the beautiful thing about things, even like Bitcoin, is it's gone up now over 6 million X from a penny. And same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum's kicking ass and taking names as well. So if we go to Ethereum, we're at $2,973 per Ethereum. So one thing that is to mention and is to notice is there's been a couple of changes and implementations with Ethereum where the gas fees that I've noticed personally and that I've seen other people notice have been a little bit lower recently than say a month ago and things like that. So definitely look at that at your own time and realize that gas kind of fluctuates. But for the people that were waiting and that were letting some of their stuff bleed, there have been better times than others for ending your stakes or doing things like that if you're trying to gas optimize. You can also go to Hex.Vision. And yeah, also for, let's see, for Jeremy, so there's some analytical websites, right? Hex.Vision is one of them. There's hexinfo.io. There's a lot of them. But Hex.Vision specifically was done by one of the developers that co-created Staker.app. And yeah, also check out Staker.app. And there's a wonderful application that two really good developers have done and created for the community. So check that out. Okay. Yeah, Corey and everyone else, it'll be good to see everyone in Vegas. Ralph Ghanistan says, a bit of confusion with the pulse sacrifice phase. You're not the only one. You're definitely not the only one. Let me see if I can go into the Telegram real quick. There's t.me/PulseChain.com. So like PulseChain.com without the dot. And there's a pinned message that we can look at and just get right into it, right? Because we've been streaming for about 30 minutes and I've got another 60 minutes to go. So let's share the screen real quick of the Telegram. Let me get in here. Okay, just 1 second here. Okay, Telegram. Perfect. Okay, cool. So let me zoom in to the person that was asking the question, Ralph Ghanistan, about the sacrifice phase. Richard's mentioned that. Okay, links please. I'll send them to you in just a second. Richard's mentioned that the sacrifice phase, and this is obviously speculative, but why not? Could be as soon as like 1 to 2 weeks, and that's definitely going to be where the opportunity is for those that want to get in at the ground floor, that want to get in early. So without further ado, let's take a look. All right, let me zoom in. Okay, so we'll read a majority of this or most of it, but it says thought experiments. These are just ideas for you guys to talk about. Have no expectations of the work of others. Get your ideas out there, right? That's probably one of the most important things that Richard has kind of harped on lately. about just people in general that are asking what can they do and when's this coming out. And not everything is decided yet from what the sentiment that I gather is, but let's just take a look here. So freemium coins removed and deducted after 30 days to the cryptocurrencies that are worthy of sacrifice. ERC20 tokens don't need freemium Pulse as they are already getting a copy of their ERC20. So the freemium sounds like it's just going to be, from what I see there, just going to be for the Ethereum users. And another clip that I made even as well talked about the Ethereum Whales, right? Richard's mentioned that Vitalik Buterin, founder of Ethereum, has publicly, I think it's 330,000 Ethereum, something like that. And there's a lot of, from what I gathered, right, there was a lot of Genesis and early whales and wallets in Ethereum that just have about 4 transactions that had 150,000 Ethereum each. And there's some things that he's going to exclude in that freemium thing. So, and it makes sense, right? If you look at what happened, Jeremy could probably remember this too. But like when Bitcoin hard forked from Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash, one of them definitely went down in value a lot more than the other, and the Mt. Gox trustee holder was given a lot of Bitcoin Cash, which he could only publicly dump on the market. So Richard's just kind of trying to protect the project itself in this regard. Let's cover the rest of it. So allocated by US dollar value at fork and whales removed. So multi-chain sacrifice phase. Verify these addresses are accurate by checking they all match across. If they don't all match, don't send. So he's got PulseChain.com. Okay, yeah, here's this for you, Jeremy. So t.me/PulseChain.com pinned message, and then twitter.com/PulseChain.com. That's also some more information. So this is in reference to the sacrifice phase. None of this is guaranteed, but you can see there's a lot of alts, a lot of different chains even that may qualify for the sacrifice phase. I'm not going to read all of them because we just don't have all that time, but you can go in it for yourself and take a look, Doge and all these other different cryptocurrencies. All right, let's scroll down a smidge more. You have 30 days to send all your coins to the sacrifice address. The cost of X goes up 4.2% per day, 3.3x on day 30. The cost of X goes up 4.2% per million US dollar equivalent, 59x at 100 million. This is a hard number to choose. On day 31 and 32, the total sacrifices across all chains are measured and credited. Anyone can verify the amounts. Let me just scroll down a smidge. Anyone can verify the amounts going into each sacrifice address in real time on each blockchain. On day 33, the final rankings will be published. So this is really cool, and this is really exciting for anyone that's been following even other chains or been following Ethereum 2.0. Ethereum 2.0 has something worse than what even Hex had, where Hex was always kind of like the 4 more weeks and stuff like that. But I guess with Ethereum 2.0, I didn't realize this even since being in crypto since 2017. But I guess they've been trying to release it since like 2017, and it's been significantly longer. So no wonder the market has kind of got impatient of waiting for so long, and they want to develop on some of these other chains. Okay, so let's read this too. The addresses sacrificed from are now in the addresses set is now prepared to receive new coins. I might have butchered that. Your private keys to the coins you sacrificed can now be used to access your new coins on supporting blockchains. PulseChain is currently the only chain we know using the X sacrifice set. And that's very interesting too, because there's always possibilities that other things could happen as well. Once again, none of this is set in stone. 30 days after mainnet launch, all the freemium addresses have the freemium amounts of Pulse deducted from them. Other game theory is likely to exist. These are just ideas. 33 validators burn 25% of the fees. People can delegate their stakes to the validators that reward them back to the largest percentage of fees, 0% inflation. So that's also interesting as well, because for those that have followed EIP 1559 and some of these Ethereum proposals know that, yeah, I think even with E 2.0, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think that is still, inflationary. So it's interesting to see something that's got 0% inflation. All right, so we kind of went on that rant. Let me say hi to the chat and make sure no one's sleeping here. Let's see. The Crafty Hack says, Viva BallietBran. Hey, thank you. Good to see you. Day 43 OG. Nice to see you. I know you're on the Blue Bum channel, another Aussie that does streaming, and you guys did a good job last night talking about Pulse and whatnot. Ralph Afghanistan says, do I need to buy more coins and keep them liquid, or will I get Pulse based on what I have staked? No. So yeah, if you wanted Pulse, you would need to have whatever qualifying ERC20 tokens work for the sacrifice address, and you would need to sacrifice that before you're able to get Pulse after the 33 days. So yeah, say if you have Hex right now, you're going to get, to my knowledge, Richard's mentioned it kind of being like a photocopy machine, right? Where you got one sheet and then you photocopy it and you got the same exact thing. So I think after the sacrifice phase, you would still have your duplicated Hex, liquid Hex, and then you would have the duplicated stakes, but it's on the PulseChain instead of Ethereum. So it'll still stay on Ethereum, the stuff that you have now. That doesn't change. That'll never change. And you'll just have the stakes and liquid Hex on a new chain. So it's really, really interesting. And we look at some of the success, as much as people, and I've seen kind of Richard starting to warm up to this idea again of just looking at some of the other coins in the system itself. And you look at things like, say, Matic or BSC and whatnot. And like I said, a lot of people have been waiting on Ethereum 2.0 for a while. And if it's not going to come out or it's being delayed, then they're going to go to other things. So it's going to be really exciting to see what Richard does and what the developers do to kind of implement something that could be not only the largest airdrop in history that we know, but that could have some significant appreciation possibly. Corey, an investor, says, yeah, I mentioned that. I believe the sacrifice could be actually adding liquidity for the PulseChain, which will give it on-chain value that is also trustless. All right, let's take a look at Rusky99. BallietBran, do you or anyone in chat understand how the freemium addresses could have the freemium amounts could be deducted after 30 days? Yes, let me address that. I don't get how that can happen on a blockchain. Thanks. Cheers, 100 bits. Thanks for the bits. Yeah, so I think I even have it on my YouTube channel. Yeah. So it is on my YouTube channel. Just if you want Richard's explanation, aside from just my interpretation of it, let me just show you, not the whole video, but I'll kind of direct you where to look. So this is the YouTube channel. It's the top video right here. So will PulseChain give lots of free Pulse for Ethereum Whales? Who gets to claim? So he also mentions, I believe in that clip, some of the deductions, right? So what am I trying to say? He mentions after, even in that pinned message, right, that after, I think 30 days, something like that, that if you don't take those and move it to a new address, I believe, then it would be deducted, something like that. So yeah, definitely check that out and definitely go back and kind of interpret it for yourself, because he does address that. Nozdarov, my biggest hype for Pulse is the fact that it will start at 0 value. And Richard Hart mentioned you won't have to pay taxes if at one point it will have more value. Yeah, there's definitely different states and jurisdictions and whatnot that airdrops and stuff like that do qualify and implicate taxes based on the value that it's worth. So yeah, Richard talked about if you can have, say, like 7 digits, and then if you can have like 7 zeros after the decimal and then a 1, or however many zeros to make it as close to 0 as possible, then yeah, that's not only beneficial for the price appreciation, but for other things like that as well, maybe. Maddie Allen says, smash the likes. Yep. Smash the likes if you haven't already. And yeah, definitely check it out. Okay, let's go back here. Jeremy Rush says, thanks for all the help. Think I have what I need for now. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Yeah, if you have any more questions, yeah, feel free to just reach out or ask some of the more well-known Hexicans in the community, or even the public Telegram, and you'll get some information there. It's like the Bitcoin claim for Hex. You will get less if you claim later. Yeah, so that's an interesting aspect. Let me stop sharing the screen real quick. That's an interesting aspect of PulseChain versus the adoption amplifier in Hex. Because the adoption amplifier was based off of the EOS 351-day launch phase, as people know. But even with EOS and even with Hex on day 1, you have significant pent-up demand, and then everyone kind of FOMOs in on day 1 and kind of blows their whole stack, per se, as opposed to kind of on a dollar cost average. So I say that to say that that with PulseChain, Richard's mentioned that, I mean, think about it, right? If you have a 4.2% kind of like increase on each million, then it would seem that the sooner you got in, the more rewarded you would be in that regard. So I think that that's kind of a unique way of changing the parameter a little bit to kind of reward some of the early adopters in Pulse, as opposed to some of the people that did spend all of it on day 1. I'll take Richard's position on this. Not to talk about your own crypto or stuff like that. So I'll stay silent on that one. But how much is BallietBran going to sacrifice on Hex for Pulse? I mean, it all depends on how much liquid assets you have, right? I know some people that are going in a significantly big way. I know some people that are, like I mentioned, they've got other assets, right? They've got properties that they're trying to liquidate and find better assets, like maybe Pulse, to put that money into and that economic energy into. Depends on how much, like I said, liquid Hex you have, how much liquid ERC20 tokens you have that you're willing to sacrifice. It's all speculative, no one knows what's going to happen, and but yeah, I'll be happy for the sacrifice lobby and for PulseChain to come out. It's going to be very exciting, very, very exciting, because as someone that's been following Richard since 2017 and been following Hex for a very long time, a lot of people made significant amounts of wealth. Even the people that just put in 1,000, or even you could even have gotten like Ethereum for like 80 to like $120. And if you had, I think on day 33, it was like January 5th, I believe. If you had one Ethereum, you would get, in the AA lobby, you would get 1.8 million Hex for that Ethereum. And if you were privy enough and you were listening to Richard's advice enough to realize that you could self-refer, then what was it? It was like 32% bonus, something like that, on top of what you were getting at the rate. So yeah, someone could have got a lot of Hex just for that Ethereum value at the time. And I say that to say that a lot of people that didn't get in on the ground floor early, if you like what you've seen in the past and you want to go in on Pulse, then you're hearing about it now, and it might have similar aspects and and good appreciation like we've seen in Hex. So Nestorov, also, you all YouTube fans should come over and make an account on Twitch and drop a follow to BallietBran. This is a cool platform. Yeah, I tell you what, Twitch I learned this out from Hexologist when he was doing Twitch only, that with Twitch on mobile, it's super easy to tag someone, right? Okay, let me just get rid of a troll real quick here. 1 second here. Okay, cool. Let's go back. Okay, so yeah, Twitch, right? So with Twitch on mobile, you can hit the @ icon, and then you can type in HEX and get Hexologist or get BallietBran, as opposed to like say YouTube on a mobile, you have to like manually type in all of the characters, and sometimes that can be a pain in the ass, right? Especially some of the people had let me know about I had a couple of hexagons in front of the name and after the name, and like, Bran, change that, because it's really hard to mention you or refer back to your comments. So yeah, definitely check out Twitch. It's a cool platform, and yeah, the more the merrier, right? The more the merrier, because I debated with my StreamYard account, I can do like 6 or 7 different platforms to stream to. And I remember being like, well, I don't know if I want to do Facebook because I got a lot of my family members and, just friends I used to go to high school with, and don't necessarily want to burden them with a whole bunch of like crypto information. But then when I realized like, okay, a lot of the people did well in Hex that got in early. Well, maybe some of the people that are on that platform might be able to have that opportunity as well. So yeah, check out Twitch. It's pretty cool. Thanks, by the way. Hextoshi. Okay, yeah, I was talking about the capital gains, tax implications. Okay, lots of comments. And yeah, if anyone has any comments or questions and whatnot, you can always throw this in there too. The crafty hacks. Let's see. Hey, BMA, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Vegas, man. And yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see everyone. But he says, Bran explains all Hex and Pulse information really well. Thank you, Bran. Hey, appreciate that, man. It's something I participate in, like every person that I can find, right, that's in Hex, aside from the founder, Richard Hart. And so I think, like I mentioned, everyone has their preference, right? Some people like watching political stuff and like watching drama movies and things like this, or TV shows. But for me, it's like, for the most part, like, yeah, crypto, self-improvement, stuff like that, Richard's videos, Hexagon videos. So I watch all the Hexagon's videos and try to also put a little bit of a spin from what I think's going on too. Not with my Hex or even my buddies. Good old money. Yep. Mrs. Hexquisite. She's part of the Hex Asians crew, so shout out to you. Says, good morning, Balliet and Hexicans, Hex Asian, Hex Japan. Nice to see you. Huddle Dog, good to see you, man. He was on a stream today with Cabana Crypto. And I think Motley and Marketable Thoughts, I mean, like I mentioned, we got Hexicans all over the world. And you want to talk about, there's a difference between like having a product and just marketing the hell out of it and getting adoption from that. And then also having like grassroots adoption and like, stuff like that. And yeah, Hex is definitely more of a grassroots movement. And you look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin it had like a zero value or close to zero value, like the first 500 something days. And it was like until to my knowledge, right? I think it was like the pizza transaction, the 10,000 Bitcoin for the 2 pizzas that kind of, determined its value, or that started to kind of kick off that price appreciation. So with Hex, we're on day 500 something. We're on day 517, so it's cool to see how far we've already come with Hex. The Hex Swimmer says, let's see, how many unique wallets existed in those early weeks of Hex, fall 2019? Is there a place to find that? So my best guess would be, and I'm going to go to this URL right now. because I haven't actually shown it on a stream in a minute. But let's cover this real quick. It's Hex.Vision. I'll go to it after I say what's up to this other guy. T-Share Master. I like the name, by the way, right? Says, what's up, Bran? Hope you're well, dude. So yeah, doing well. Hope you're well as well. All right. So yeah, T-Share Master. By the way, I like that name, right? Because at the beginning of Hex, some of the people had understood the concept, right? Get incentivized and get rewarded for locking up longer, and bigger pays better. But why would I lock up for 5,555 days as opposed to 3,641 days if the maximum T-share caps out at 3,641 days? So I say that to say a lot of us kind of realized, sometimes sooner than others and sometimes later than others, that the cost of Hex per T-share only goes up in Hex value. And the actual T-share itself is like the coolest part, in my opinion, of Hex, right? It's what kind of replicates and simulates compounding interest. And it's also what gets you your interest, right? So if other people have, say, an average of 5.5 years, for example, if your staking length average is longer than them, then when theirs end, their T-shares are going to end, right? In exchange for Hex. And you're still going to have the T-shares that you have, and you're just going to be earning more and more interest. And that only just ramps up as other people that are bigger T-share holders and their stakes earlier, the ones that are holding it on for the longest, they're going to do very well. So not only do you have the price appreciation of, say, the dollar value of just spot price, but then you have the interest that you've earned on top of that. And if the average interest right now, I think it's like 39 or 40% APY is always the number that you hear for the average stake. Well, then, yeah, you'd multiply that by the price appreciation and you get some big numbers. So it's really cool to see. Dude, Hex Currency. Hey, Balliet. Hey, nice to see you. Okay, let's get back to the topic. Hex.Vision. Because I got another 37 minutes before I got to go with some friends to lunch. Let's see. All right, so share screen. We're going to do Hex.Vision. Shout out to Firebun, right? He built this website, and it's a very valuable and useful analytical website for people to look at. Because at the end of the day, Hex is designed to, sure, volatility is great, but if everyone's ending their stakes on the same day, then that's kind of the opposite of what Hex was designed to do. If you have people that are going to participate in staking, then I'll show you when I scroll down here. Let's just do it right now. So shout out to Firebun for doing this. It takes all of the stakes that are active right now, and it shows you a chart. Let me just make sure everyone can see. Okay, cool. All right, let's get back to it. So yeah, ideally, you wouldn't want to be ending your stakes here or here and here when everyone else is, right? You would want to maybe end in gaps that are less sell heavy, because when people end their stakes, it's not a guarantee that they're going to market sell or even realize any interest, but it's definitely a possibility. And if you increase those odds by having more people ending their stakes on that day, then maybe it's more valuable for you and you'll get a better return on your investment if you don't sell when everyone else is selling, right? If you kind of spread it out, you might do a little bit better. So same thing within the 15-year range. You've got the 10 to 15-year range where people have the 3x of the T-shares, and anywhere here in between is just prime, absolute prime for people that are setting up their ladders. Because eventually what you're going to see, in my opinion, is as time continues to go on and people start to continue understanding what's going on, you're going to see more people filling in their ladders right here. Those spots will most likely be less scarce. Okay. Yep. Hey, Balliet. AJ Crate. Hey, nice to see you, my friend. Says, great stream. Okay, so what else we got? Yeah, so to answer the person's question right here, the Hex Swimmer about unique wallets, I think it's actually in Hex.vision right here. So yeah, unique addresses 21,024, and that was for the AA, I believe. I mean, it says the start of the AA to now. I don't know how accurate that is. It might just be from the start of the AA to the end of the AA, because I don't think that number's changed very much, and a lot of this stuff has already kind of happened, so it's just still here. But yeah, there's a lot of cool information to look at. Yeah, I think that's true, right? Because you look at this, the Hex to ETH ratio, and yeah, you got some interesting numbers there. So you can also see like the total percent of people that are locked. You got 9.74, and we realized that that Hex is similar to, like, say, a De Beers diamonds analogy, where the supply itself is actually a lot more rare than what people would look at from the surface level. Okay, let's see, what else do we got? We got about 30 more minutes if we end up going that long, and let me just see if there's anything that I haven't necessarily covered per se, right? Let me go to Richard Hart's Twitter. This is also something for people that are kind of new. Richard does post a lot on, he's got a lot of updates on, say, like the Telegram pinned messages, but also his Twitter is pretty good too. Let's go to that. All right, 1 second here. Okay, so yeah, check out twitter.com/RichardHartWin if you haven't found it or you haven't been already. Yeah, I got 66.7 thousand followers. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Hex blockchain CD 448x versus the US dollar at the all-time high, 140x versus Bitcoin, 93x or times versus Ethereum. And then he's got just hex.com here. But I tell you what, it's very interesting. And as someone like Richard that was a Bitcoin maximalist, right, in 2017, he was getting mad at the Ethereum holders that, okay, now they can have this much more Bitcoin, or this has much more price appreciation than Bitcoin. And then he kind of did some diving deep into Ethereum after they had made some changes and realized, oh, okay, update your worldview. And anytime you're just, with blinders and kind of blocking off everything else, which for the most part was correct, then sometimes you might miss opportunities. So yeah, shout out to him for that. BallietBran, what are your thoughts on how to play the Pulse conundrum? Yeah, I mean, I know everyone's kind of got different speculation on it. I mean, for me, and from what it seems like, it seems like there's going to be, probably an advantage for people getting in earlier than later. That's just my speculation from what I've seen, and from what I've seen on the price raise per million US dollar value. And you might have a huge rush into that sacrifice lobby. And anyway, sometimes the early bird does get the worm. So I'm not going to say how I'm going to play it specifically. I'll take that advice from Richard not to talk about your coins per se, but here's the thing. You don't have to just, if you're doing, say, dollar cost average, for example, you don't have to put 100% of your bag at the dollar cost average strategy. I mean, maybe you do 50% on day one and dollar cost the rest of the 29 days. Everyone can kind of play it differently, but from what we know and from what Richard's speculated that might happen with this, seems like earlier may be better in regards to Pulse. So that seems interesting. All right, let's look at Richard's Twitter real quick here. Oh, this is cool. I mean, so Richard not only, so he also has a not only is he the founder, right, of a multi-billion-dollar cryptocurrency Hex, but he's also into longevity and medical technology and stuff like that. And so this is something Vitalik Buterin's also a fan of, but says we're preparing a live discussion panel with Aubrey de Grey. I think he's like the founder of Sens, and then Vitalik. So that's going to be pretty cool. But so yeah, Richard has kind of on his Twitter, he's got some right here. Let's click on this. So this is a massive freaking thread and something that Richard's constantly updating. But it goes to show you the rug pulls or the scams, whether it's on Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, TRX, any of these things. This is just another one. Richard posts about 14 hours ago, says $30 million exploited. Let's just read this real quick, right? Because there's so many people that do yield farming or that go on different forks of Uniswap or Ethereum that have admin keys and major centralization. And just like we saw with PancakeSwap and whatnot, that they forked the Uniswap code, and then I think Richard called it like a vampire attack, something like that, where pretty much, I think it's actually SushiSwap that I'm referring to, but the point is this, right? If you have admin keys and you have people that can be susceptible to that, they can really rug pull. And a lot of people have done that and scammed their users of the network out of a lot of money just because the people were dumb enough to give them the control and put themselves in that position. So for anyone that doesn't know, the whole point of Bitcoin and the cypherpunk movement and whatnot was to have your own sovereignty and to have censorship resistant and stuff like this. So the more that you see people doing the opposite of what crypto was intended to do, Richard always kind of grits his teeth and bites his teeth sometime when he sees that, because you know that there's other opportunities like Hex that other people are gatekeeping, and they're screwing over their users and they're making money off of their users by getting scammed and rug pulled, when those people could have found out about Hex and could have gotten a sick APY, or even if nothing else, they could have speculated possibly and traded spot price and done well as well. Because as far as this goes, the 448x, like I mentioned earlier, 448x in 456 days, that's just spot. That doesn't include the interest that people had got. So when you consider big payday was like 30 to 90% bonus on your principal, then the amount is actually significantly more. Okay, so let's go back to this, right? So Spartan Protocol, what we know so far, attacker used $61 million in BNB to overcome the pools via a as yet unknown economic exploit path to remove roughly $30 million in funds from the pools. Reach out if you can identify and analyze the exploit. So that's what you have happen a lot. And even in trending, you got a verified Ponzi scheme. BitConnect in 2017 was a blatant Ponzi scheme. And the point is, so many people, they have this get rich quick mentality, and they think that things are going to just come overnight type thing, and they're going to get their riches overnight, and they'll get greedy and they'll do things that have significantly higher risk, such as the altcoins with super low market caps, or even a lot of the stuff on BSC or TRX and stuff like this. We've seen a lot of exit scams and attacks like this. So definitely, when you have crypto as the highest appreciating asset, you also got people that are going to take advantage of those people trying to speculate. And it sucks to see people lose their money, right? Because people that get scammed, or people that put their life savings into stuff like BitConnect and Ponzi schemes and whatnot, it's really devastating. And even though people shouldn't put in more than they're willing to lose or more than they can afford to lose, a lot of times people don't take that advice. And unfortunately, you get people that commit suicide a lot. And it's something that's not talked about a lot, but I think it's very serious. And I think that's why, Richard should be very commended for talking about, not gambling and trading and stuff like this, because we've seen it have more negative impacts than positive impacts. And like I mentioned, it's disgusting, in my opinion, as someone that's been in the space longer than a lot of these influencers have. It's disgusting to see them shilling these links or selling these NFTs and stuff like this. And it's exploiting their user base and their follower base as opposed to providing them with knowledge, because at the end of the day, providing them with knowledge is not more profitable for them. So they'd rather screw over and harm a lot of people, which kind of goes to show you a lot about the type of people that are in the space that are considered, influencers, and that people are going on to YouTube and not doing their own research, but they're just listening to their favorite influencer of the day and then just buying whatever they have. And then what you don't realize is front running, right? And then you have people have incentive, people that are shilling, say, some of these like lower cap coins and whatnot. How do you know they didn't just buy a whole heck ton of it before they started posting the YouTube video and then selling on their followers? Because we see that a lot. So just be wary. But yeah, this was pretty interesting because, like I mentioned, Richard has this huge thread, and I'll slowly scroll up. But right here, another $81 million lost, admin keys, LOL. And so yeah, Chris Black was talking about this, and yeah, admin keys in crypto are something that, like I said, it's giving another entity pretty much full control. And so even when Richard had mentioned about the Matic, I didn't realize about that it had the admin keys. And anyways, it's just it's a shame to see other people lose their money, because you want to see people do well, not do worse. So yeah, this list is pretty interesting to look at. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Let's see. Is there anything else? So you can do limit orders. I think Luis was asking me about Uniswap version 3. To be honest, I don't know a whole lot about Uniswap version 3. I know that it's coming out May 5th. Let's see here. One second. Let me just read one of these comments. No worries. Let's see here. So Uniswap version 3, right? Uniswap, the creator of the automated market maker, came out like a week or two after Hex came out. Similar to Hex, where it had, like, I think version 1, version 2 have no admin keys and whatnot. And anyways, version 3 is coming out where you can do limit orders. For people that want to do limit orders right now, there is, what is it? It's app.oneinch.io. And then Matcha, matcha.xyz. And I think you need wrapped Ethereum, but you can do limit orders there as well. So for the people that don't want to sell and have that cause a negative price pressure on the market, or people that want to buy and accumulate without pushing the price up like a market buy would do, that's one thing you can do. Okay, let's see. Does anyone have any other questions or anything like that in the chat? Otherwise, I don't see many more comments, and I've kind of talked a lot about what I think is going to happen with Pulse. And at the end of the day, it seems like it could be here sooner than that 6-month prediction, and we'll kind of see when it comes out, right? But you can go to t.me/PulseChain.com, and Richard's always posting stuff in there as well that you can learn from. So I think that's it. I mean, just for giggles, we can go back to the Hex price and just see what that's doing, and then we'll end it, and I'll go see some friends. So yeah, we're at 2 cents, but I mean, from a week ago, up about 50%, 45%. That's pretty significant. And this is just version 2. This is the current pricing and liquidity and stuff like that with the Uniswap version 2. And just look at this, right? So even if you take, so right here, November 19th was the big payday. And you can see there's we'll just scroll over here, a big wick down, right? It went to almost 20% of a penny. And even just the price appreciation that we've had since then, it's just ridiculous. It's just incredible. And the velocity of money and things like Hex, it is designed to lock up a whole bunch of value and for people to be incentivized to, get a yield by waiting and delaying their gratification. So even to the people that have been trading it and whatnot, Hex is kind of like a trader's dream. And you see a lot of those people as well. So Uniswap.hex.vision, there's version 2. There's also version 1. And then we'll end it, and we'll see if Look Into Crypto and Gerardo are still streaming. I'll rate them in just a minute. So yeah, this is the version 1 chart, right? And it's amazing to see what we've seen with price appreciation these past 517 days. So you can see that right here. It's pretty much just a solid up and to the right. And I think it'd be really cool. Rich has kind of joked about it with a t-shirt and stuff like this, but it'd be really cool to get a t-shirt that just had all the other cryptocurrencies and kind of showed that. All right, let me hide that guy. Okay, let's go back to it. But it goes to show you that if you have something that has a lot of game theory and that incentivizes people and that's well designed, you can see some significant price appreciation. And we've seen Bitcoin have, things like Hex can't have inflation bugs. And because the smart contract itself is completely locked and the keys are thrown away, you're not going to have these rug pulls and you're not going to have these exit scams and stuff like this. And Bitcoin did a 6.2 or whatever it is at its all-time high, million X from a penny. And that's with the inflation bugs that we've seen in 2017. And I think even in 2019 too. There's one that got implemented and they had to roll the blockchain back, and then one that a Bcash developer discovered. But that kind of stuff, I mean, like I said, people, they put in more than they're willing to lose and they speculate on other things that are less secure, and sucks to see those people get completely rugged. Okay, yeah. Hey, dude, Hex Currency, go to my YouTube channel. There's a video that I made an hour ago that covers that. So it says, wondering what stablecoin values will hold on Pulse. Yeah, that's all covered in the video. I don't even want to go into that right now because I'm about to end the video. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, Duraj kind of has the point. It says, none unless the exchanges issuing them decide to honor them. Yeah, at the end of the day, like say USDC, right? There's complete 100% counterparty. And if there's illegal stuff going on or blacklisted addresses that they're interacting with going on, they can, just with the click of a button, make that null and void and not allow you to, they can lock it, right? To where you can't have that value move across different addresses. So that's definitely one thing that you do that you can have as a risk, a counterparty risk with stable coins. So Rich has even talked about that it would be cool if someone in the future develops something similar to DAI, but more decentralized and less prone to kind of exploits. All right. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything, guys. I've kind of covered all I want to for right now. Check out the other Hexagons. There's a lot of Hexagons. I'm not going to name them all, but there's Blue Bum. There's Discourse Syndicate. Discourse Syndicate does streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. On Fridays, you can actually engage with the community, and you can join the live stream on the Discourse Syndicate channel. It's called the Effing Hangout, and that's actually what inspired me to actually start streaming. Was joining their streams early on, and just realizing man, this is exciting to talk to people that are in something that I'm passionate about as well. And you can learn from people, ask those questions, bounce ideas off of each other. So check them out. I know, like I mentioned, Look Into Crypto and Gerardo. Let's see if they're still streaming real quick here. Because if so, we'll rate them. We'll rate them real quick here. Yeah, BMA, nice to see you, man. Okay, yeah. So it doesn't look like they're still streaming, but check it out anyways, right? Oh, okay. We also got Whales Only, my man. He's got a stream today, scheduled for 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, so about 2 hours and 15 minutes from now. But he says Hex Macro Talk Central Bank Special Part 2. And let me like that real quick here. So yeah, that's going to be great. Whales Only does great analysis. Speaking of Whales Only, Matty Allen, the host of the Hexican.Vegas meetup, he does a Quant Gang stream every Tuesday, and he's constantly doing streams. So definitely check him out. Yeah. Let's see. BMA says Huddle Dog also made his own awesome video today. Yeah, check it out. I was able to like it. I didn't actually watch the video yet because I was preparing for the stream, but I'm definitely going to check that out before I go hang out with some friends. So yeah, without further ado, that's pretty much everything. Check out the Hexologist. I know he's had some renovations in the house that he's renting right now, and so some of the stream was a little bit inconsistent the past week just from other circumstances going on, but he should be back up and running soon on his normal schedule. So check out the Hexologist, and that's pretty much it. Sig Hex says, hey, Bran, sorry I'm late. I was watching Gerardo and looking to crypto stream. Yeah, man, no worries at all. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier, that sometimes when, if you got 3 streams going on at once, you can try and pull a Matty Allen and listen to all of them at once, or you can just, watch whichever one is more interesting and, watch the other ones later if you choose to. So I'll definitely be catching up on their stream, sometime later today. But yeah, good to see you, my friend. And that's pretty much everything. So you can go to allmylinks.com/ let me go here. allmylinks.com/BallietBran. You can follow me anywhere, pretty much at BallietBran, on Telegram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Trovo, the whole 9. Identity. Yeah, it'll be cool to see you in Vegas too, man. There's a lot of Hexicans going to Vegas, myself included. You can go to Hexican.Vegas. Actually, since there isn't Gerardo streaming right now, let me see if we can go over to that real quick. Let's do. Trying to find the right setting. We're going to cover this for just 1 minute, and then we're going to leave. So Hexican.Vegas, right? I've never been to Vegas, but my 3 older brothers have separately. Anyways, it'll be cool to say that I've gone as well. But yeah, Hexican.Vegas meetup 2021. It's going to be in less than 2 months, right? It's going to be the first Hex mass meetup, June 24th through the 27th. Matty did have a deadline for these tickets. That includes the shirt, includes some other stuff as well. That's pretty cool. Some discount codes and things like that to some of the events. If you haven't signed up for it already, the cutoff was actually during Richard's stream with the girls, the end of it. But if you happen to miss that, maybe direct message Matty Allen, allmylinks.com/Allen, and maybe you guys can work something out. But yeah, so it'll be the first Hex mass meetup. There's going to be a lot going on, right? So some of the Hexicans are staying at the Bellagio, or I think it's just Excalibur, and then Aria. So I'll be at Aria with anyone else that's there too. Obviously my room's just going to be separate, but down to hang out with people and see everyone. And I'll be going to most of the events. I don't think I'll be doing the Circus Soleil thing just because that's not my thing. But yeah, we'll definitely be there to see a tank in real life, to see that kind of running over one of the donated vehicles. So that'll be cool. That's also, let me go back to this real quick. That's something that Richard covered and I wanted to clip it. I just haven't had the time yet. But Matty had initially talked about, and I kind of mentioned this with the Hex maximalism, or even Richard as a Bitcoin maxi in 2017, and then realizing, hey, Ethereum's not so bad, stuff like that. But with PulseChain coming out and just with other things not wanting to be so hostile, I guess, to other communities, even though they've been hostile back, initially there was going to be a tank with the Hex flag that was going to crush a car, right, that had, say, Bitcoin, ETH, and all these other altcoins. But Richard had kind of commented what his opinion on that was during the stream, and I thought it was pretty commendable and cool to see, right? Richard's trying to do the honey route. How can you attract flies more? Can you attract flies more with honey, or can you attract flies more with vinegar, right? And that's kind of the analogy of like, okay, if someone's shit talking every cryptocurrency that they're not in and that the majority of other people are in, well, then how the hell can you expect them to actually listen to the one crypto that you're in and actually take that seriously if you're just going to ad hominem attack? Even if it's true, I shouldn't say ad hominem attack, but even if you're going to crap talk their crypto, because it is something that, you know, you already have tribalism in politics and stuff like that, but especially with people's finances and with what they're invested in, you get tribalism even more. And so I thought that was cool of Richard. Yeah, Trustless says, is Gerardo going to stream? He actually already did have the stream. I thought he was still streaming, but I guess it's already ended. I can actually send you the link because I have it in my history. And yeah, definitely check that out. Let me... I know it's on Gerardo's. Okay, it's right here. 1 second here. So yeah, it's an hour and 51 minutes. Let me share the link for that, just so you can go back and take a look here. Okay, there it is. So yeah, that's the link for the Gerardo and Look Into Crypto stream. As someone that has been streaming for a little while, it's not something that's easy, right? There's a lot of technical difficulties and whatnot. So I say that to say that the first few minutes and whatnot, he's setting up the restream and the OBS and things like that. And especially when you have, this has been my dilemma, and this has been why I don't have all the fancy gadgets and gizmos yet with the chat on screen, is it's kind of tough. The more software that you have, like layers running on top of each other, sometimes the more errors you can have, or now the screen share doesn't work, or now the volume of the video that I'm sharing is really low. And so I've just been sticking to StreamYard and like that pretty well. But yeah, definitely go check out that video. I'm going to do it later. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything. We were going to cover a couple more comments on the, let's get to it, the Hexican.Vegas here. Because I still do have technically 8 more minutes before my hard cutoff is. So yeah, here's the information where you can find out more about the Hexican.Vegas stream. There's a couple different telegrams, and you'll definitely want to be following those. So yeah, the final dates are Thursday, June 24th, 2021, obviously, less than 2 months from now, through Sunday the 27th. So obviously it's, yeah, people can do whatever they want. If you want to arrive early, arrive later, things like that. But there's going to be a lot of Hexicans around that time frame, myself included. So it'll be cool to meet everyone and to also check out Vegas. I mean, shit, I've got a body cam and a whole bunch of different cameras and a second cell phone, and I'm gonna try and get some content and some coverage as well. And I know RG3 and Maddie have talked about doing some live streams. As far as myself goes, I know I speculated on it, which most likely I'll be streaming too, but I can't say the whole time I'm going to be streaming, right? So I might be joining some of the other Hexican streams during those events. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the ticket package. So it's got a like a little hex badge, a T-shirt, and the cool thing actually on the T-shirt, this is something, as someone that's created my own hex shirts before, I tried to get a vinyl, and I tried to get like a QR code that would scan, but for whatever reason, I didn't realize it was actually direct to garment, not vinyl. Anyway, so with the ticket package, you did have an option to put whatever URL you wanted to scan for that QR code. So even though everyone's shirt's going to look similar in this regard, the QR code that you choose is going to be whatever you want it to be. So that's pretty much that. Let's see. So it talks about the Hexican meetup, talks about health, you know. The cool thing about Hex, right, is it incentivizes you not to trade, not to gamble, stuff like that. So some stuff was kind of covered there as far as just reminders, I guess, for people that might be susceptible to that in Vegas. But yeah, the first day is going to be June 24th, and the first meetup will start 4 p.m. Vegas time at the Strat. And the cool thing that I didn't realize about Vegas for the longest time, but they got all these like different world iconic things. Like I can see the Space Needle out the window, and there's also Paris, the Eiffel Tower, and all these different things. But the Strat is kind of like a replication type deal I don't know if it's the same height, but of the Space Needle. Tell you what, I think there's like a roller coaster. You can see there's a little bungee jump thing right there in the bottom right of the screen, but I think there's like a roller coaster as well, but you sure as hell won't find me doing that stuff. But for the people that are adrenaline junkies that think that stuff is cool, knock yourself out. But anyway, so we'll be meeting up there for the first time, and there's also a bar and food and stuff like that they have for people that want to participate there. But yeah, so I mean, Maddie's got a whole bunch of stuff that some of these times overlap and some of these things are different, and not everyone's going to be able to be at the same place or even want to be at the same place as everyone else at the same time, So these are just some ideas of what some Hexagons may be doing, but there's a lot to see. I mean, like I said, this will be my first time going, so I'm excited. And yeah, if we scroll down a smidge more, you can see this is the tank thing that I was talking about. So it's called Battlefield Vegas. We've already got a Hexican. I think it's like freedom.tv is his website. But he's going to be donating a car to be crushed over and ran over by the tank. And also in a separate shooting range area, there's automatic weapons that you can fire, obviously with supervision, if you want to do that as well. So that's obviously a super something that they take the safety very seriously. So, but yeah, there's a bowling alley. There's the whole 9 yards. So check it out for yourself. I got the hard cutoff of the stream. I've got like 2 more minutes before I got to leave. So let's see. BMA, just subscribe to Gerardo. Thanks for the link. Yeah, you're welcome, man. He's on Twitter as well. Let's see. Sig Hex, where do you get the Aria discount code? I already paid for the tickets. Message Maddie Allen right now. Yeah, go private message Maddie. So on the go to Hexican.Vegas, find the telegrams, and then one of the pinned messages of Maddie's telegram for the Vegas meetup is an Excel spreadsheet, and there's like Bellagio, Excalibur, and then the Aria. So myself and Yosh from the last I looked were on Aria, and anyways, you'll need your name on that, and Maddie he'll DM you a discount code. So that's what he did for me. I've already signed up. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. I got to leave in a few minutes to go get some food with some friends. So thanks everyone for being here. And we do this stream every week, right? Sometimes I got people on, like I had Gerardo on the other day, and some other Hexicans that do streams. And then on Thursdays now, we changed it from Tuesday to Thursday. But on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we've got Knights of the Crypto Table. So that's a streaming rotation between myself, Crypto Coffee, Motley Investor, Dollar Cost, and Look Into Crypto. So it's kind of cool because it's another way to cross promote. And as someone like myself that's primarily, in Hex and a little bit of Ethereum, sometimes it's kind of cool to hear about the other space of crypto from people that know about the altcoins a lot more than I do. I used to know about them in 2017, and now Hex has just been a full-time job. So yeah, check it out. And allmylinks.com/BallietBran. Pretty much BallietBran is where you can find me everywhere. Yep, Identity. Good to see you. And yeah, that's it. So everyone have a good rest of your day. Safe day, and enjoy the weather if you can. And I'll see you next week.